Game 1 was. I would not be surprised at all to see it happen. Lulu and Nidalee are the first bans. So
the GP, once again by the ROX Tigers.
yeah, I'm a little bit surprised about the GP ban against SKTelecom. It hasn't exactly been the scariest pick they could field.
I'm a little bit surprised by all the Lysandra bans. Kuro has only played Lysandra twice this season, and Smeb has only played it once.
I mean, there's always things going on in scrims, you know, word on the street between these coaches, between the players that you might have to take into account, but
yeah,
from just what we've seen, it's a little bit surprising. Poppy ban. All right, that's not surprising.
Yeah, not going to want to first pick the Poppy.
Guess so.
They're going to get close to Corki right now. Does SKTelecom just leave both of them open?
I would leave both of them open because getting Kalista for Bang or getting Corki for Faker are both very, very good things for SKT. So yeah, I'd ban like the Kindred or something.
Alistar.
Alistar, okay, yeah. Well, either way, leaving them both open.
ROX
And
actually going to try the Kalista. Well, Kalista is an excellent pick. Leaving the Corki up, especially when you're playing on blue side, because flex pick Corki on blue side does a lot for your draft and prevents them from flexing all the way down to the last pick on the red side.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. They are going to grab the Corki Braum combo.
And so why not? You could grab that LeBlanc. I don't know, grabbing that blind, feel like you could.
Yeah, you can play LeBlanc into most things these days, and I don't think it's particularly horrible in most matchups.
LeBlanc Nautilus.
Especially given what we know about Kuro's champion pool. If he wasn't totally terrible at Azir, perhaps he could pick that. But that has been Kuro's probably worst champion in the history of his career. And he's picked it a whole hell of a lot, and he picked it against Samsung and looked really bad.
Yep. So 2 picks over to SKTelecom now.
Are they going to take the Trundle here? If they take the Fiora so early, they would be tipping their hand.
I really wonder what's going to happen in the jungle, too.
They'd be giving an opportunity for the ROX Tigers to take both Trundle and Nautilus right now as they lock in the Fiora.
Okay, so Fiora, and will it be the Elise? Probably.
So SKTelecom looking for a 4-1 split push composition.
Gragas. Okay, they'll grab the Gragas instead. I think that's a better idea. I mean, we saw what a problem Kindred was last game. This prevents it. You can obviously knock people off of her Lamb's Respite with the explosive cast.
I suppose they could take the Kindred here. There is no threat of a Trundle coming out of SKTelecom anymore that the top and support have been shown. They would have one way to get people off that ultimate, and Peanut may actually go for the Graves, is 5th most played jungler this season. He usually just favors that, or 4th rather, he usually favors that Elise and Nidalee pretty heavily.
We've seen one Kennen so far from Smeb this season, but a lot of it in the past. They will lock in the Kindred and the Kennen.
This is always a really interesting pick for the ROX Tigers, because the Kennen, while it will be going, well, we actually don't know, it could be support. They actually have a flex pick here, because the ROX Tigers are one of the very few teams in the world that have a 3-way flex on Kennen. They can play at support, AD carry, and in the top lane.
Yep.
We've seen them do it all the time, and they played it in and out of meta. Now, whether that Nautilus is support or top lane, and the Kennen is support or top lane, we don't really know, but the kill pressure from that Kalista Kennen lane is absolutely huge, especially post 6. Just excellent engage with the Fate's Call straight into the Slicing Maelstrom.
I think taking Lucian for Bang is a great idea by SKTelecom. I mean, Bang's great on the champion, Faker is great on Corki, and you may be running into these tanks, it's true, but at least you've got everybody on some pretty big comfort picks.
Yeah, absolutely, but are they going to play the LeBlanc Zed matchup?
Wow, they are.
Great.
So Faker's going to be playing
So,
Zed.
yep. We talk about this matchup. I was curious if Faker was going to do this. It is considered a LeBlanc counter pick. So Zed is a huge lane bully. And Faker going to be on the Zed. Remember, Zed is, to this point in time, Faker's most played undefeated champion. He has never in his career lost a game on Zed.
And that we're talking games that go back, well, we're up to almost 3 years now on this champion.
I believe he is 8-0 all time on Zed. I'm going to check.
He's got there is an SKT Zed skin because of him.
But he won't play it. Remember,
No,
he played it once at he tried
won't.
to play it at IEM. He played Zed at IEM, but he never selected the actual skin. It was quite sad.
Yeah.
So Zed, he's 9-0, did play 2 games at IEM in Poland, and therefore looking to slowly eclipse his LeBlanc record, which before he lost at MSI last year was 12-0.
Wow.
So he's got a few more games to go. So Faker on the Zed. Very interesting. He always plays a lot of Zed in solo queue.
Yep. Went for the Ignite this game too, so really looking to be aggressive, get the kills. Yeah, this is Faker at his fakeriest.
At his fakest.
Fakest. He's Faker at his fakest. And when Faker is his most fakest, he's the most real. That's how it is. SKTelecom picking quite the composition to try to catch up here, to try to get the tie against the ROX Tigers and move us into a game 3. We'll see if they can do it. Time to get in the game. Welcome to Summoner's Rift for an epic game number 2 between SKTelecom and the ROX Tigers here in this second best of 3 between these two teams this season. And if ROX Tigers wins this, they will be 4-1 against SKTelecom in terms of total games in Champion Spring. And if they end up losing this match in the third game, they'll just split it 3-3. So either way, a good showing for the team that lost to SKTelecom in the World Championship Grand Finals last year.
And it will be a top lane Kennen.
Yep, that's right.
So we're not going to see that Kalista Kennen combo launching the Kennen right in, but Smeb is so fun to watch on Kennen. His teleport flanks are very, very good. But ROX, this is going to be another skirmishing comp for them. They have a lot of utility for which to dive in the early game.
Oh, Gorilla gets found. Wolf takes a bit of damage, though. Hook comes in from Gorilla. They're going to trade a little bit. Nice Ren from Prey at the end. That's going to give Prey and Gorilla a little bit of an edge in damage.
Not too much, though, and they do stop them from doing the grops, so both of our dual lanes will end up in that top side. And Kuro and Faker. 2 Ignite mid laners, LeBlanc versus Zed. This is what we wanted.
It's like the good old days.
Kuro does have a history of being outplayed by Faker.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
There are some very amazing highlights of Faker playing against Kuro throughout both of these players' careers. Most notably is the one where Faker played Yasuo into Kuro's Orianna. And that is a truly amazing 1v1. If you want to watch that, you can look it up.
Faker already getting some decent damage in onto this LeBlanc.
It's really hard for the LeBlanc to trade with the Zed. Those Razor Shurikens doing quite a lot, and being able to dodge out with the Living Shadow makes landing some of the trades from LeBlanc with the distortion and the chains quite challenging.
You notice what Faker's trying to do too is he's trying to keep the angle on Kuro so that when he throws in that Q to CS, he's also trying to hit LeBlanc at the same time. And it's working really well.
Faker is pretty good at the old League of Legends. Well, Peanut and Blank going to see each other in this bottom lane.
Yeah, Ward just left by Blank.
So interesting about this Kennen Fiora matchup. I'm not familiar with it. It's not something we've seen a whole lot of. But having that stun, especially from the range that it has, makes it very difficult for Duke to actually stun somebody on the riposte. Like, you can riposte it, but you're not actually going to stun the Kennen, as we saw right there. So he can kind of keep trading with you with his ranged auto attack and his early Doran's Blade. And should be a pretty big discrepancy in terms of lane power right here. Smeb's a bully lane for sure against the Fiora. Late game, though, Duke will have a good time, especially if he can riposte the stun or picks up a QSS in the 1v1. So for SK Telecom, this game is all about 1-3-1 split pushing.
Yep.
With the Zed and the Fiora. ROX, though, they've got to make some plays early.
Wow, Exhaustivus on Prey. They're going all in on this right now. Gorilla re-engages. Prey very, very low. Can they finish him off? Doesn't quite look like it. Gorilla blocking some of that damage there, but that was a all-in attempt from SKT. Bang not using
Peanut's
his flash.
there. There's a pink ward.
Both junglers are there. Blank coming down right now. He's going to walk right into Peanut, though. Peanut getting slowed by the cask, by the barrel. And Blank's just going to take another auto or two on the way out.
Chasing him off. Does have that level advantage.
SKT did get the summoner advantage in that one, saving the flash on Bang, but burning all of the summoner spells on the other side.
Yeah, good all-in attempt there from SKT, noticing that that Gorilla was gone, and so they had that 1v1 opportunity, or 2v1 opportunity.
Wow, Faker blows up Kuro, and with that, the gank coming in from Peanut is nowhere near as strong. Faker just doing some damage to the Kindred on his way out.
Well, Peanut's job right now is just to zone Faker away from the wave so that at least LeBlanc can farm a little bit of this, but the timing couldn't have been better. Faker proccing that LeBlanc passive, getting her very low right as that big minion wave came into the turret.
Yeah.
And now, look at the pressure advantage. Kuro actually has to back right now. Has evened up that CS, but he's going to start to lose a little bit of it. Peanut responsible for cleaning that up.
Faker just sticking around to do a lot of damage to Peanut. Wow. Whoa, Faker going in. Pops the Ignite, takes a lot of turret damage though. Oh, Faker a little bit too far in, and Peanut barely survives it too. That was as close as it gets in a duel around the turret.
What a boss. Faker has now attempted to all-in 2 people before he even hits level 6.
Oh, he's got to run.
run.
Yep. Yeah, that push was a little bit too dangerous to recall in. I think he knew that. Started the recall and he's like, I got to get out of here.
But now he's down the Ignite and Flash for the level 6, and perhaps Kuro can turn this around in the lane.
Oh, Blank wants to bring something on to Smeb here. Smeb trying to get away. Nice flash. Blank goes after him. Gets stunned, though. Smeb escaping that gank pretty easily overall. Has to burn the flash to do it, though.
Kuro now in charge of this mid lane with the summoner spell advantage. Faker rolling back with a Hex Drinker on his side. Kuro, Fiendish Codex, so no attempt at purchasing armor just yet. I think he's confident now that he has a summoner spell advantage.
That was a very, very close duel between Faker and Peanut.
Trying to nail Smeb here.
Yeah.
He doesn't have level 6. Now he does. They're still going to try the all-in.
And no flash. Ult used onto Smeb. Duke going in for the grand challenge. Blank coming from the side, and they've got this cannon all locked up. Uses the Maelstrom. He's alive for the moment. No, he doesn't quite survive it. Peanut trying to turn it around, though. Going for the double kill, but Duke's got a decent amount of damage on the Fiora. No, he runs for his life. Caster minions doing some work. Kuro comes in for the execute, and Duke will not escape this one. So ROX Tigers coming out ahead in the end.
Kuro so fast on these roams. He had the pressure edge in the mid lane from Faker attempting to all-in Peanut, then having to recall to buy items. And look at that. Duke actually uses the riposte just to slow the Smeb down and make this gank easier. Blank is going to get stunned up, but Duke there manages to actually complete the grand challenge with the kill. Peanut tries to do something, tries to get in there. Duke is healing up, though. Peanut, remember, still not level 6, doesn't have that Lamb's Respite to save himself, so pretty dangerous all in. But Kuro, look how fast he gets down. They know he's coming to. They have those 2 wards, or the ward and the Scuttle Crab, right there by the entrance to the Dragon Pit.
And Faker really not able to follow as easily with his summoners down, and just by virtue of not being quite as quick as that LeBlanc. Has his Hex Drinker now, though, for more favorable trading.
Kuro had to use his flash to even get in there, though, because he had to mimic his distortion. He had a distortion, a flash, mimic distortion to get that far and under the turret.
For the kill, though?
Yeah, definitely worth it, but just shows how far he had to run and how quick he had to be to actually catch Duke and intercept him right there.
Still manages to have more CS than Faker, too.
Well, we'll wonder if Faker had picked up that kill onto Peanut, how much this game would have changed.
Yeah. Well, games like this just tend to be decided by the slimmest of margins. Saw it last game, wouldn't be surprised to see it this game too. 2v2 still going on up in top lane. Peanut mulling over a lane gank, but decides not to go for it.
Let's take a look at it. Smeb
Yeah.
with his ultimate.
Well, Smeb really trying to bait Duke in here, but Duke's not having any of it at the moment. Peanut's still waiting. Oh, Duke, you might be in trouble, buddy. There we go, slicing Maelstrom used by Smeb. They get the stun. Duke doesn't have his flash. They can dive this. They don't even really need to. Kill for Smeb, and ROX Tigers getting the big edge over Duke.
Great gank. Smeb knew that the riposte was down from his little poke forward right there where Duke used it to slow him, and so there was no answering the stun, and he could get as close as he wanted to with that slicing Maelstrom, and the damage from Peanut just enough to help finish off that kill. Good gank.
Yeah.
Bang now swapping down into that bottom lane. The Fiora has really been struggling against this Kennen.
Yeah, and you have to imagine it's just not a matchup that Duke plays a lot, you know?
No, and of course, Smeb always there with the pocket top lane Kennen pickup.
Yep. Well, SKT wanted this. They picked that Zed last and sent Duke up into the top lane against the Kennen.
Well, still in the late game, Fiora, an absolute monster.
Oh yeah, I mean we've seen it time and time again where Fiora just takes a break, farms for a while, and then comes into the side of a team fight and gets a triple kill.
And yeah, that's still going to be a concern for the ROX Tigers. SKT actually only about 500 gold behind in spite of those 2 kills. Faker, oh, ooh.
Oh, is he gonna go in? Nope. Just
Great reaction
saying
time
hi
from
to
Kuro.
Kuro. Yeah. A lot of damage onto the spot lane turret already from Bang and Wolf. Certainly doing a lot of damage, putting a lot of pressure on there that Praying Gorilla have to deal with now.
And 1 turret could be in a lead for SKTelecom here. And if they can start the 4-1 split, ROX is going to fall off when it comes to that
close.
late game. Kuro, though, powered up with a kill already. It's going to be crucial, especially now that Seeker's arm guard does limit Faker's options in that mid lane.
Moment though, things are quiet. SKT sitting back, concentrating on form, or farm rather. Maybe farm and form, maybe both for the moment. Why not? Work on your form too. Gotta have good posture.
It's really just about the technique, though, of the gank, right?
It is, isn't it? That's what it's been about so far. Yeah, blank there just to keep Duke safe, because if you're ROX Tigers, you're going to keep trying to punish this Fiora as much as you possibly can. Swap Smeb up there because of it. Corki wastes so many bullets.
I don't understand how he carries all that ammunition around him. Where does he
I
put
don't know.
it in that bobsled? Why does that bobsled have a Gatling gun?
Yeah, that's I'm pretty sure that's not legal in the Olympics.
Cool runnings too, the revenge of Jamaica.
That's right. Oh, Faker escaping from that gank. That's like, this time it's personal, man. Dude. That one team that like sabotaged their bobsled. They're like going on the track and then like suddenly they see in their rear view bobsled mirror like here comes a Jamaica team with a Gatling gun on their bobsled.
I'd watch that movie.
That sounds great. Man, let's quit casting and make movies, huh?
All right.
That'll be our first one. Deadly runnings. Or you'd better run.
You'd better runnings.
Runnings for your life. This time, they have to run to survive.
Oh, man.
We can make it happen. Well, I don't think Faker's too concerned about things in the mid lane. Duke, though, concerned about things in the top lane, and he should be.
Yeah, that CS lead is getting rather unfortunately large for him. And
yeah.
It's hard to itemize out of this hole if you're a Fiora because you really don't want to build a Hex Drinker.
Oh, here we go. Going in. There's a gank. There we go. Slicing Maelstrom. Duke locked up under turret again. Smeb very low. Duke going for it. Oh, he can't quite get the kill onto this Kennen. It was close, but these ganks have been really well executed by the ROX Tigers. Praying Gorilla trying to back away, though, and it looks like there might
Smeb
be
wants to
a
TP.
dive.
Smeb just went back so he could prepare to TP.
Yeah, they can respond. SKTelecom, though, may be feeling a little bit of desperation. Turret goes down up in top lane. Kindred takes that one out.
Yeah, but they can't do it. There was such a good play from the ROX Tigers. They left Kindred in the top side and immediately TP'd with the Kennen, sacrificing that gold just so they would have a way to respond to any kind of turret dive that happened, knowing that Duke was dead and couldn't TP in response, and it would be a 3v3.
Right.
Really good reaction there from the ROX Tigers. They are so quick on the reads of these situations and the strategies they deploy in response.
Oh, SKTelecom with a response of their own, they'll get the first dragon of the game. So at least getting something out of that. But just finding a way for Duke to farm up and get some strength in this game. That's kind of the real challenge that SKT has to face right now. So you see Faker dodging that anchor. And ROX Tigers, you know, just like last game, kind of giving up those early dragons, focusing on the Rift Herald and the pushing power they can get from that.
And the gold, too.
Yeah.
So not a huge gold boost, but every little bit stacking up in their favor.
Well, these games are going to bring the gold lead at 15 average up once again for the ROX Tigers. They were really far ahead in game number 1, and game 2 about a little over 2K gold up at the 15-minute mark.
They started split pushing really early on with his Zed, and he is not itemized to be in a lane against Kalista with that Maw of Malmortius, so now he's going to swap back into the mid lane where he can actually use that magic resist a little bit more effectively. Just a little temporary switch after they take the dragon and clear waves. As soon as they have that chance to recall, they will be going back to their respective positions. SKT has bought a lot of time for Duke, though. He's starting to close the CS gap due to the freeze that he had up at the tier 2. So it's all about, for SKTelecom, empowering this Fiora, which the ROX Tigers have targeted early, counterpicked with this Kennen, and they made it work really well so far. Yeah. And that growth of the really dangerous split push champion has been curtailed for the time being.
Just amazing how well prepared the ROX Tigers are for seemingly everything. Everything except for Samsung.
Well, maybe you shouldn't pick a Fiora Lulu 80 carry Varus comp.
Yeah.
Just saying. Not even sure what that's supposed to do.
Gragas is kind of randomly in there too. He just shows up.
Throws a party barrel.
Yep, that's right. Brings the drinks for the party. But then he throws the drinks on the ground. Gragas is no fun at parties.
He's a party fouler.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like, hey, thanks for coming to my party. Gragas kegs right over there, and he picks it up and just like throws it through, and like, Gragas not again. All in down in the bot lane. Bang knocked up twice, trying to back away. There's Exhaust on the prey. Nice Fate's call all over the AD carry from SKTelecom. They try to equalize, but they can't get it. Kill for ROX Tigers already.
Faker.
Here comes Duke, though. Yeah, Faker coming from the top. Wolf very low, has to back away. Gorilla being a nice big zone in the front lines. Faker goes into the back lines, gets exhausted though. Explosive caster Blank trying to keep Faker safe. He can't do it. And SKT losing 3 in that engagement. Oh, and they may not be done yet. Kuro and Peanut coming through the enemy jungle. And you're right, they're not done yet. They're going to get the Gromp. Well, Kuro going in. He finds Duke, gets the chains. Can he kill him? Flash hook from Gorilla, and Duke's going to go down. This ROX Tigers team just looks unstoppable, unless you're Samsung. But aside from that, they look unstoppable.
Duke's teleports this series have been really questionable. He caused his team to vastly overcommit. They could have just let Bang die to start this fight, remember. Wolf does his best to keep his AD carry alive, but there's the Fate's call. TP comes in, but Smeb is already here. He's going to get a huge AoE slicing Maelstrom off. He repositions to hit Duke as he comes in. Fiora is absolutely useless in this team fight this early in the game. And as soon as this commitment comes through, Blank is there, but Kuro finds Wolf on the back line. Kuro just going nuts, even with Faker's Maw of Malmortius. He can't take out much, so they just needed to let Bang go right there and try not to lose anybody else. Instead, the ROX Tigers get immensely fed. And then look at this play. So Duke teleports. He knows, they can see him right there. They drop the blue trinket ward in, and he still decides to go after it. Gorilla with the follow-up crowd control, and Duke just melts.
Wow. Meanwhile, some aggression out of the mid lane turret. SKT can't fight this.
And Duke has decided to purchase a Hex Drinker. He was losing that lane so hard that he bought a Hex Drinker, and now he has no pushing power. So they don't have any kind of wave clear in the side lanes, which means this Fiora is incredibly far away from actually starting to put pressure on the map and threaten turrets.
Wow.
And he can't team fight with it either, so there's actually no point to buying a Hex Drinker.
This is a historic game, man. We may actually see Faker's first loss ever on Zed.
Yeah. 9-0 in his professional career. Would be sad to see that record go, but with the way the ROX Tigers are playing and the enormous advantage they've gleaned, and SKTelecom, they don't even really have a great, they don't have a great team composition for late game team fighting here. They needed to split push.
Well, their only real late game power came from Duke, you know? I mean, if this Fiora would have been able to farm up, would have been able to get the items, could have made a big difference. Still might, but it's just looking less and less likely as the ROX Tigers jump out to about a 6,000 gold lead at less than 20 minutes.
Yeah, the comeback was conceivable in the last game from SKT.
Yeah.
When we looked at the two team compositions, but
More so than this game.
SKTelecom is going to have to get some epic picks and turn them into objectives in order to make any kind of attempt at a victory. Goodbye, auto attack.
Look out, Faker, here it comes! No! Oh, he's okay. Huh. Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought. He's fine. Look out for the pink blob flying across the map. And I'm not talking about Zach. We never see him anymore.
So sad.
Yep. Somewhere Alma's crying.
In China.
In China. He's
But
crying into his
not for the
piles
Zach
of money.
Not for the Zach reason, though.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, well. He like cries for a little bit, and then he goes to his Scrooge McDuck vault and goes diving in his giant piles of Chinese money. SKT trying to defend their tier 2 turret in mid. Him and Dade, man. Their vaults are right next to each other, probably.
Dade was cut.
Yeah, but that doesn't...
Now he's back in Korea in his Scrooge McDuck vault.
Exactly, I was going to say, yeah. Just brought the vault with him, probably. He's got it all stashed in the Cayman Islands. You know how these rich types are, you know? You know, it's a good place to store money because nobody wants to go to a place called Cayman Islands. You're like, oh, an island filled with caimans? That sounds dangerous. I'm going to stay away from there. See, it's a trick. All these rich dudes put their money there. Nobody wants to go there and try to get it. Smart stuff.
All right, Dragon time. This is the last hope for SKT. 5 dragons.
Yep.
But they're going to get it easily because ROX just on a mass recall right there of
They just don't
Ray
care
and
about
Kuro.
these dragons. They don't care.
I mean, they care about, it's probably 3+ dragons. I don't think they care about dragon number 2.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's exactly what we saw last game, right? You know, they let SKTelecom have 2, and then like, all right, that's enough, guys. Got to stop it now. And Peanut just taking as much of SKT's jungle as he can. Little bit risky, but now Prey is there, so it should be fine. They're going to go for this tier 2 up in top lane. Bang has the package.
They're not really in any kind of shape to use it, though.
Nope.
More gold for the ROX Tigers.
Yeah.
Just 7,500, huge lead. Faker at least will answer, but
That's the
tier
first
1 for a tier 2.
It's also the first turret for SKT at 22 minutes.
Yikes.
Ugh. Ugh. Hurts. Hurts bad. 2014 all over again.
Well,
although
I don't
technically-
think it's that bad.
Well, technically, SKTelecom did win the first season after
Yes,
Worlds
they
2
did.
in 2014, so. It got bad later on. ROX Tigers wants all your buffs. And so they will get them.
Taking that blue.
Oh, yeah.
Double blue for Kuro.
Yep, because you really need 2 blue buffs.
Same time.
Yeah, get that sick refresh. Just F5 that blue buff.
I'm afraid I don't truly believe that anything else is going to happen in this game, Noah.
Well, anything else besides ROX Tigers slowly, maybe not so slowly, strangling SKT to death.
And they're just running around the map right now.
Yep.
With the minion waves. They can dive at will, pretty much. And they don't even have to do that here, as the turret is going to go down very fast to
Just.
Callista and Kindred. Smeb there with the nice lightning rush zone.
Just annihilating those turrets. Goodbye, weird red stone creature, or blue stone creature.
Glad you learned your colors in kindergarten.
I'm working on it.
You don't even have the colorblind excuse.
I meant it was the red side blue stone creature.
Nice.
That's what I meant, you know.
Nailed it.
Yeah, got it.
As opposed
Nailed
to
it.
the blue side red brambleback creature.
Yeah. Now you're getting it. Oh, well, Bang taking his anger on the Krugs. Uh-oh, Kuro coming in. Bang taking a lot of damage. It could be an easy victory. Pops that summoner heal, but gets popped by Kuro. Oops.
Well,
Bang, bang, bang.
there's a Fed LeBlanc on the map.
Yep.
Kuro can actually duel at close range with that Corki, considering has that Zhonya's Hourglass, so at least he's going to be mitigating some of Corki's damage. And I think that easy kill. Faker looking for an angle right here. Looking to save his undefeated Zed streak, but I think that streak will end tonight.
Well, Faker clearly needs like a roof to jump off of or a paper wall to come bursting through.
So if Faker loses on Zed, his next champion that he hasn't lost on is Riven.
All right, well, we'll see when we get to that. TP coming in from Smeb, and they could dive this so easily right now. Duke there. There goes the inhibitor turret. Anchor thrown out. No connection. There goes the inhibitor. SKT just doesn't seem to be able to stop this. They have to go in. They want to go in. I want them to go in. They aren't going in, though.
Well, I don't think they are going to go in. They can't really team fight as effectively as the ROX Tigers. Team compositionally, and they're, of course, now 10,000 gold in the hole. ROX Tigers have an easy time just recalling right now, pushing out the lanes, and then really starting to take a hard look at this Baron.
Yep. Well, that was kind of a weird Kennen effect. You saw the little lightning ball, but you still saw him running in front of it. So it was like he was getting chased by himself or had a lightning backpack. See, now it's just a ball.
I didn't see it.
It was both. I'm sure some people saw it.
So Riven, though.
Riven.
Faker. Now we have to talk about the next line of Faker's undefeated champions.
All right.
6-0 all time on Riven. If he does lose on Zed, that will be his next one. After that, it is Cassiopeia at 4-0.
Wow.
Much less
Well-
impressive than his 9-0 record or his former 12-0 record on LeBlanc.
I don't think we're going to see a Riven game anytime soon.
You never know. I didn't expect we'd see a Riven game in the finals of the summer season against KT, but we certainly saw one there.
True. I mean, we did see a Sejuani recently, too. You never know when champions are going to pop up, although Sejuani got some buffs in 6.5, so
Yes.
that's not as surprising. I want to see the Jarvan come back, though, now.
Do you really?
Yes, I love watching Jarvan.
Well, if Jarvan comes back, then Rumble comes back.
Sounds good to me. I like the Jarvan Rumble combo.
The hot pot.
That's a great way to describe it, yeah. The hot pot. Wow, Faker. His son Kuro could come over the wall. There goes the inhibitor turret. ROX Tigers going in. They catch Wolf, do a ton of damage to it. Great Fates call, 3 damage, and right away the follow-up with that slicing Maelstrom creates a great team fight for the ROX Tigers. Looks like it could be a clean ace. Double kill for Peanut, and there goes Duke. It will be a clean ace, and that will be the game. And ROX Tigers proving without a doubt who is the most dominant team in Korea right now. It's them, as they 2-0 SKTelecom. Game 1 was close. Game 1 was back and forth, but Game 2 is a sub-30-minute win. ROX Tigers take it. GG.
14-1. The kills at the end of that game.
Wow.
12,000 gold, 8 turrets up. 10-2 for that turret score. Extremely dominant performance of the ROX Tigers. Not phased at all coming off that loss to Samsung.
Yeah.
They tighten things up. They bring out some pocket picks, and they cause SKT to have their first loss since coming back from IEM and Faker's first ever professional loss on Zed.
Wow. That was an interesting match. I did not expect it to be a 2-0. We talked to all the Korean commentators before this too, man. Everybody was saying 2-1 one way or the other. But ROX Tigers, if you can believe it, stepped it up even more from where they were already at. SKTelecom, I don't think they played that bad overall, honestly.
No, well, there were some mistakes in game 2, but it's little things.
It was still better than the pre-IEM SKT of the season.
Yes, absolutely. Although Duke sort of reverting to his slow TPs.
Yeah, I suppose
tonight,
that is
was
true.
a major
Yeah.
factor in SKT's defeat.
Yeah.
Smeb and the rest of the ROX Tigers just showing that their teamwork is lightning quick.
Yeah. SKTelecom, though, that's really not a loss they want to suffer. That's going to send them down to 7-5, ties them up with Samsung. And now, if Samsung can beat Africa Freaks, it's going to put them right back above SKT, and SKTelecom's going to have to be satisfied once again with that 6th place spot.
And they need to move up, obviously. If they
Yeah.
only the top 5 teams make playoffs, so 6 is not where you want to be.
No, we've got a decent amount of matches left, but you don't really want to be messing around right now. If you're on the edge, like SKT and Samsung, it's kind of must win every game.
It is indeed. And there you go, resilient.
Resilient, that's true.
Kuro is resilient.
That's right. When we come back, guys, the MVP interview, and then Samsung versus the Africa Freaks. Going to be awesome. Do not miss it. OGN Champion Spring will be back right after this.